Long time no see. I am so excited to be back with you guys. I feel like it has been a century since I made a video, so I'm really sorry. But as most of you know, we just did a huge military move. We actually just got out of the Navy, so that was a big process, and we had to get all of our stuff moved back to our hometown. It's actually in storage right now, and we are temporarily living with my parents, which is why I'm in their big bathroom. We are currently house hunting. We're trying to decide whether we're going to buy a house, build a house, what we're doing. So really grateful that my parents have taken us in for the time being while we figure out where we're going to go. So I really missed you guys, so I wanted to hop on here when I had a chance and share with you some of my current favorites for this month. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it because I don't want to ramble forever, and I am going to try to be making videos in the coming weeks where I talk more about what's been going on and some other things that I'd promised you guys. Also, just to clarify, I am so sorry that I look completely nude. Right now, the lighting in here is so amazing that it actually drowns out my shirt, which is like a light salmon color, and it just blends in with my skin. It just meshes in, and I just look completely buck-ass naked. So sorry about that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started with my first favorite, which is a foundation, and it is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Foundation. And I'm actually in shade 4.5, and I know that that seems like it's a little bit dark. If you look at my skin, it's quite a bit darker, and I have self-tanned, but I'm promising you guys, if you go to pick up this foundation, go with at least 2 shades, I would say, darker than your natural skin tone. And I don't know why it looks so much better in the darker shades. I had originally purchased this in the shade 3 over at Ulta. I matched it on my wrist in the store. It matched perfectly, so that was what I picked up. And at first when I tried it in the shade 3, I really didn't like it. It really washed me out. I didn't feel like it covered my imperfections very well. I was just not a fan. And then I decided to give it a second chance, and I tried it in shade 4 and shade 4.5. And like I said, this is the 4.5. And it is like a whole new foundation. It's so weird. But actually in this darker shade, I feel like it has way fuller coverage. It looks really nice and just blends in with my skin. It gives me a really nice glow. I was super impressed with it in the darker colors. So my suggestion to you would be, even if you've already tried this and you weren't a fan, try it out in a shade that's about 2 shades darker than your skin tone, and I really think that it will make the world a difference, because in 4.5, I've been in love with this foundation, wearing it every day. It gives me really nice medium to full coverage. It is buildable. It is weightless. I don't feel like I have a cake face, and I really like the color. It gives a nice, subtle sort of glow. So I think it's going to be really good for spring and summer when it's hot out, because like I said, it's not like a thick, cakey foundation. So I've really been liking that. Also, sort of like skin coverage related, I've been loving the Maybelline Dream Lumi pen, and this is the one in Radiant. And I've talked about this before. I love this for highlighting and also for underneath the eyes because it's really lightweight. It doesn't settle into my fine lines and my creases. Okay, so my next favorite is actually not in its original packaging, obviously, but I was sent this Nye Banana Powder by my good friend Cassie, Shades of Cassie, here on YouTube. She sent me a sample of this to try out. I have been loving it. It's a really yellow-based powder. I'm guessing that's why they call it banana powder. It's a really finely... Oh, no! Okay, yeah, that didn't work out too well. I definitely just spilled that all over myself. But anyways, she sent this over to me, and I've been using it just to sort of set my foundation, and I really, really like it. The yellow tone to it just cancels out any redness, but it's not overly cakey or drying, because I tend to find that unless I use a very finely milled powder, that it can really settle into my lines, especially underneath my eyes and right here on the sides of my mouth. I guess I just smiled too much. I do have lines here already. I would really recommend the Nye Banana Powder for those of you that are looking for a lightweight powder that's going to be good for more mature skin, but is also going to really just do like a nice tone correction. This is really good. And next, my favorite bronzer, and this is from the brand Prestige. You can get Prestige at Ulta. And this is their Sunflower Illuminating Bronzing Powder. And I've been using this every day for over 2 months now, and it doesn't even look like I've touched it. It is like, look how big. It is the biggest bronzer ever and lasts forever. And it is a matte bronzer. There are a couple little random sparkles throughout, but they don't transfer onto your face. So just a really nice matte color. And I've just been using it for contouring and just adding some more color to my face, since I don't like to self-tan my face. I only self-tan my body. Because I will typically break out if I use self-tanner on my face. So if you guys have any recommendations for really great facial self-tanners, please leave them down below. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna be bronzing. Next is my favorite blush, and it is by Senna Cosmetics. It is their Sheer Face Color Powder Blush in Tres Jolie. And yes, I broke it, so I'm just gonna show you the color like this. I would swatch it for you guys, but honestly, it is such a light pink swatch. You can't even see it on my hand. It kind of blends in. But when you put it on your cheeks, it gives you the nicest, rosiest look. I've been pretty much wearing it every day because, I don't know, I wasn't liking the look of my Wet n Wild Heather Silk as I've gotten paler. It was just a little too garish for me, although I do love that blush. So I switched to something a little lighter and more neutral. Next, for highlighters, I have been loving the It Cosmetics highlighter. This is in their Hello Light Illuminating Powder. It's an awesome, awesome powder highlighter. It almost reminds me of the Balm's Mary Luminizer, which is another one of my really top faves. I absolutely love these two. The only difference is that this one is a little bit less shimmery, I guess. It seems like it accentuates my pores less, which I actually really like. So I've been using this a little bit more often than my Balm Mary Luminizer. Next is my eyebrow pencil, and I have been using my It Cosmetics Brow Power Pencil. This is a universal pencil, so no matter what color hair you have, you use the same shade of brow pencil, which I really, really like. Basically, it's just a very neutral color, and if you have lighter hair, you apply it lighter with a lighter hand, and you can also apply it heavier if you have darker hair, which is what I've had to do, obviously, since going brunette. And the thing I really like about this, and I've almost used the whole thing, they're typically a lot longer than this, but it's a dual-ended brow pencil. One end is your little spoolie to comb out your eyebrows, and then the other end is actually the roll-up brow pencil, which is really nice and creamy, but it's not garish, it's not overstated. And if you go a little too harsh with it, you can just brush it out with the spoolie. So I like that it's a dual-ended. But I think that it's very natural looking, it's very easy to use, and you can get a really precise brow with it. So I've been using this every single day for months now. Okay, sorry, I had to take a quick break because my camera battery died, and then I just decided to eat lunch, and it was the most bitter salad I have ever eaten. So, like, I can't get the taste out of my mouth. Being healthy sucks ass. Okay, so, where was I? Did I have salad in my teeth? I feel like I have salad in my teeth. Okay, so moving on, my favorite eyeshadow that I've been wearing the most for the last couple of weeks has been my Urban Decay Smoked Palette. I'm trying to get as much use out of this as possible before it gets to be too much warmer outside, just because I think this palette's a little better for fall and winter because it is so smoky. But mostly I've been using the top row and then this color right here, just the more neutral shades. And I especially love this color Kinky and Freestyle, which are the two sort of like nude colors. This one's really great for like highlighting an inner corner, and then Freestyle is just like almost the exact same color as my eyelid. So I really, really like this palette. And then to set my makeup, I've been using every single day my Skindinavia makeup finishing spray. And this I actually do prefer to my Urban Decay All Nighter. That kind of tends to break me out, but I did buy that on Outlook, so I guess it could have been expired. I still haven't figured out what happened there, but it just didn't work for me. And I know that that's also by Skindinavia, so it really just didn't make sense. But the original Skindinavia makeup spray has just always worked amazing for me. I got this for, I think, like $5 or $10 on hauler deals, really, really cheap. So loving this. So lip products, I have 4 favorites, and some of them, well, almost all 4 of them I've been loving for a really long time. They're not necessarily new. So of course, I've just been wearing a butt ton of my Gosh Darling lipstick. This is like my favorite nude of all time. You guys know I include it in like every favorites video. I just think everyone should own it. It's amazing. It's really, really good. So if you have any friends up in Canada, have them send you a tube of this. And then another favorite, a lot brighter, is my MAC lipstick in Lickable, which is a really nice hot pink. It's very blue toned. It's almost like a berry. I'm actually wearing like a little bit of it right now, just like one coat of it that I just put on after lunch because I love it. And I just love MAC's formulation. This one is a cream sheen, which I really, really like. Then this is what I've been wearing pretty much every single day. And this is what I was wearing at the beginning of this video. Now I have the Lickable on top. I think it's the Kim Won Lee, or I don't know. It says kimmyshow.com. It doesn't have the original name on here, but this is their moisturizing lip surface and revitalizing lip color in nature. And it is a hot, hot, hot pink. Jessica Lee actually got this for me in New York City, and it is one of their, I think it's called like a bling bling or a bejeweled lip gloss, because it's got like all the rhinestones on the top. But I just love pot glosses. I know a lot of people don't like to get their fingers dirty, but something about them I just really like. And this one is not thick, it's not sticky, but it's very opaque and pigmented, which I love because it's like hot pink. Who doesn't love that? Of course, my L'Oreal Color Riche lipstick in Violet Chiffon, which is like this awesome blue toned pinky purple. And I wear this a lot. I could never wear this when I had blonde hair, so now that I'm brunette, I experiment more with purple colors, which is really fun. But this is an awesome color for spring. It like screams Easter. So I have been in love with that, and I really like the formulation of these Color Riche lipsticks. So next, just a couple skin related items. You guys know that a few weeks back I got my Mario Badescu skincare order from Outlook, which I had never tried before. And I'm really, really loving their products. My favorite that I've tried so far is the Glycolic Acid Toner. I also have the Foaming Cleanser, but I actually haven't used it as often, so I can't really say it's a favorite yet. But I've been using this pretty much every night. And it hasn't dried my face out. I know that a lot of you guys said be careful with the glycolic acid products, and you know, probably in a couple weeks I'll sort of do it maybe twice a week rather than every night. But I was going through a really bad time with my skin. It was very dry, it needed a lot of exfoliation. I was experiencing some cystic acne and breakouts. And so I've been using this on a cotton pad every night before bed, and it's made a huge difference. I've only had one breakout in the last 2 or 3 weeks, which is completely unheard of for me, especially since it was my time of the month last week. So I just think this is amazing. I really, really love it. Kind of skincare related, I have been loving my $1 Million Tan. This is the Tan Icon Extreme, and I am wearing it today, and the lighting is really bright, so you probably can't tell that I'm tan at all. I probably look like Casper the Friendly Ghost, but I did tan today, and you would be shocked how amazing this stuff does. I just love it. It doesn't have as crazy of a scent as some of the other ones that I've tried. So I'm a big fan. It's a very natural color, not orangey, so loving that. I have really been liking this Julep Glycolic Hand Scrub. This is actually one of the very few Julep products that I do own, and I didn't use it for months. It was just like away in a makeup drawer, and then my hands have been so dry this winter because I'm like an antibacterial freak, and it dries my hands out, that I finally pulled this out and decided to give it a try, and it is amazing. It will make your hands feel like a baby's butt after you use it. It's so, so good. I've been using this to get rid of the dead skin on my hands. It's really easy to use, really nice. It's like exfoliation for the hands. And then after that, I've been using my True Blue Spa Paraffin. This is their super softening hand lotion, and you can get this at Bath & Body Works. So I've been applying that after, because you do need to moisturize, obviously, after exfoliating. So those two together have really been helping my hands not be as dry. So I'm just gonna share a couple hair products, because like I said, I am gonna be having a hair care routine video coming up where I'm gonna be sharing some of my very favorites. So I don't wanna bore you guys to death talking about the same products over and over again. But I recently picked up, for the first time in my life, Head and Shoulders shampoo, because I did notice with the winter that I was experiencing a little bit of dandruff, nothing excessive, and I had never had dandruff in my entire life, never had it. But now that I'm brunette, I don't know, maybe like I notice it a little more, or I guess maybe coloring is making my scalp irritated. So I decided to pick up some Head and Shoulders, and I got the smooth and silky version because I didn't want anything too damaging, because I know that dandruff shampoos can cause hair loss. But I needed something with this pyrithione zinc for my scalp. This stuff is so amazing. It makes my hair so clean, soft, silky, full. I really, really like it. And I don't know why I have never tried Head and Shoulders before. But for those of you that think it's just a dandruff shampoo and you would never use it and it's so embarrassing, just give it a try, because they have so many new formulations now. It's really awesome. It's good to sort of cleanse your scalp every now and then. You really need to get rid of that buildup and in any kind of dead skin. So I recommend this one, the smooth and silky version. It's awesome. Also, I've been using a lot my Redken Extreme CAT spray, and this is a protein restructuring spray for distressed hair. Now, if you color, if you perm, if you bleach, if you do a lot of over processing with heat tools, you probably are lacking in protein in your hair. I recommend everyone that does the things that I just mentioned trying to work some kind of protein into their hair regimen. I think that a lot of those like Apogee and those protein treatments where you put it in for a while and it makes your hair like hard as a brick, those kind of scare me. I don't want my hair to break off and fall out because I'm already having trouble with hair loss, as you guys know. So the Extreme CAT is really gentle. You just spray it in and wash it out after like 3 minutes, and then you moisturize after, and your hair will be a lot stronger and nicer. So highly recommend the Redken Extreme CAT spray. After I use that, you have to use a really moisturizing treatment or a mask because obviously the protein will kind of dry your hair out. So you have to do protein and then moisture every time, no exception. So my favorite is the Pureology Essential Repair Restorative Hair Mask, and I use that every single time that I do a protein treatment, and your hair will feel amazing afterward. So that is my absolute favorite. And then last but not least, kind of a random favorite, but I have been really loving this Ocean Spray Sparkling Cranberry. And it's like 70% fruit juice and sparkling water. It says no added sugar. It does have some sugar in it. I don't really know how healthy they are. I know they're better than my Canada Dry Ginger Ale, which is usually what I drink like nonstop. So these are a good alternative, but I was actually introduced to these because my mom made a really amazing cocktail with them. So they're good for cocktails. I just like to drink it out of the can. My mom's not a big fan. She thinks that they're pretty sour. For some reason, I've been craving sour stuff. I don't know what's going on. And no, I'm not pregnant, because I know that if I say that, you guys are probably going to ask. But these sparkling cranberry drinks, they're really small. Actually, I can drink one in like, I don't know, like 5 minutes. It's really unhealthy, but they're amazing. So I have been loving these, a good alternative to soda if you like crave soda but you don't want that extra sugar. So those are all of my favorites for the month of March. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will put some info down in the bar below, so make sure that you check there. And thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I will be back in the next couple of days with a hair care video, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.